making cinnamon and sugar donuts. Okay, for the dry ingredients in the bowl here, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1½ cups of white sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, ½ a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and ½ a teaspoon of salt. Okay, I had the oven preheating at 350 degrees, and I'm going to sift all the dry ingredients. Okay, now this is the first time I've ever tried any type of baked donuts. I ordered the pan off Amazon a few days ago, and I accidentally ordered the silicone. So this is going to be a double experiment because I've never used the silicone before. Okay, this recipe comes from foodnetwork.com. It says 1 extra large egg, and I have a double yolk egg, which I'm pretty sure is a double yolk. And my ducks just started laying eggs, but I've never tried a duck egg before, so I'm going to wait to try it. But just to give you an idea of the difference between a duck egg and the double yolk, I haven't cracked this open yet, but I'm pretty certain it's double yolk just from the shape and size. Okay, I also need to add 1¼ cups of whole milk. Okay, 2 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. And also going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm using the clear vanilla. Okay, just going to whisk these together. Okay, I'm just going to stir the wet ingredients into the dry. You just want to mix it until it's combined. Okay, this batter is looking really wet. Like I said, it's the first time I've done this recipe. I followed it exactly, so I'm going to go ahead and go with it. My instinct is to add a little more flour, but I don't want them to be dense. So, okay, in the recipe it says to spray the pan with the Baker's Joy, so that's what I'm going to do. I always spread over the sink, so I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, since it's so thin, I was going to use my Ziploc bag to pipe it in, but there's just no way. It's just so thin, it would just pour everywhere. So we're just going to fill it up. I just don't think it's supposed to be this thin. I think it was Ina Garter's recipe. They may turn out perfect. We'll see. Definitely making a good little mess here. I don't think I've ever worked with batter that's so thin. Alright, I'm going to fill them up a little bit more. Maybe too much. As always, who cares how they look as long as they taste good, but I'm having my doubts about this. It smells delicious, cinnamon and nutmeg. Might as well just fill them up. Okay, just going to clean it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bake these about 17 minutes. Okay, I went ahead and baked them for 19 minutes, and I checked them and they're done. Of course, I overfilled them a little bit, which I kind of figured out while I was making them. Like I said, this is just an experiment. Okay, it says cool in the pan for 5 minutes. Now over here I have 1 stick of butter that I melted, and I have a half a cup of white sugar and a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon that I combined. That's for the topping. Okay, I'm going to see if they'll come out of this pan here. It's cooled off enough to touch, but it's still real hot. Like I say, I'm not used to silicone at all. They're probably, I don't know, they ain't coming out as easy as I thought they would. They're still hot. Maybe I should let them cool a little longer. I think I'll definitely be ordering the metal pan. That's what I'm used to. I'm going to let them sit here for a minute, see if they'll loosen up. Well, actually, now it looks like they are. So weird. I'm not used to having to make stuff come out. Okay. A couple of them don't want to come out. Wow, there we go. Yeah, I definitely overfilled them because the hole on the bottom is fine, but on the top is solid. So that was my mistake. Let them cool for just a second longer. Okay, so I'm guessing the batter was okay. Like I said, it did look too thin. I shouldn't have filled it up as much as I did. But I'm going to go ahead and just take the donut. I'm going to dip it in the butter. And then dip it in the sugar mixture. That silicone pan is definitely not what I expected. It's not a horrible pan, it's just it's kind of hard to start using something like that when you're so used to using metal pans. So I'll definitely be ordering me some metal pans next. I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. They're still warm, so they should be really good. It's delicious. The recipe's definitely a keeper. The donuts are so moist, but of course, they're still warm. I'm making a mess. I'm going to put the recipe in the description box. The recipe's great. I think they would have got a little bit more crispier, or more donut-like, I should say, if they were in a metal pan. They taste absolutely delicious, but it's just not the taste I was expecting. And the texture, they're really, really soft, which is nothing wrong with that, but again, I think the metal pan would have been a whole lot better. And there you have it. Thanks a lot.